Yes, my good people, welcome back once again to Chelsea Perspective. This time it's a match review. It was supposed to be daily roundup where we talk about everything that was in the news or that in the news during the day regarding Chelsea Football Club. So if you missed it because you're at work or at school, you get to hear us talk about it. But that's, by the way, it's different because we had the game this morning, this evening for some people, or afternoon for some people, and it wasn't pleasant. Here's the thing. First, I'm going to start by saying this. When I heard that Thomas Tuchel was going to leave his position as Chelsea manager, I was one of those that was raving, and I wanted Graham Potter to become the new manager. But before I continue, let me get what we have in the chat already. And I want to say big up to everyone in the chat who's found the time to join us. I sincerely do appreciate your support. It's not easy. I know it's very late for some people, yet you want to be here to be part of the conversation. I do appreciate it. And I want to let you know that I have the link. Again, I have the link there. Again, if you can show your face on a camera, it beats. So I see you, even if it's for 10 seconds, that would go a long way. I want to see your face. Again, even if I do think I know you, I'm sorry, the second comment didn't say clearly you have to be on camera. If I can see your face on camera, that would be okay for me. But again, yeah, let me see. But because JC told me in advance, uh, I don't know. There's no way telling that's him because somebody else could have seen it and changed their name to JC. Hello, Coach. Again, had I known that Brighton would acquire Chelsea, I would have advised a reminder to appeal against sanctions and this again cooperation acquisition in court. Even Roman is hurting. Here's the thing: there's no chance that would have happened if an appeal wouldn't have helped. I think the man at one point got tired and wanted to move on from the whole. Again, every time there's an issue, he'd be the first that the government will target, seize his assets and all that, or maybe threaten him with sanctions and all that. If I were him at that point, again, I've gotten tired with for the whole thing, and it would look to move on from it. Even though I love Chelsea, again, if you're watching, I have the link to the panel pinned at the very top, and I'll be taking panelists one by one. So it'd be two panelists at the time, and please, I'd have to see your face again, like JC. If even if you're the one, it was in the chat, somebody else could have seen it and said, okay, you know what? Let me go by the name JC and just join. Again, you get what I'm saying right now. Just give me 1 second. Let's see what we have here. Again, stream unavailable. You said that before. Hi again. Yeah, the name is crazy. Coach again. I am JC. Now that's scaring me, but I'll risk it anyway. Let me see. I'll risk that for that one more time. But again, it's a show that every participant would have to be on camera. But I'll give every participant, let's say, 10 minutes to voice their opinion. I miss this old tune. I love it, and I know you're one of the OGs here. You started again with us, and JC, if that's you, confirm in the chat once more that's you. Then maybe I'll risk it if you do that. Big up, guys. A Potter out. No more. Again, pedestrian football, shameless, clueless manager. Again, I wouldn't go to the extent of calling him shameless. If you say clueless, maybe I'll read that and still talk with you. But shameless in what sense? He's doing what his job and he believes he's capable of doing it. Patrick Kako, why do you want to help Boehly? I don't know really. Again, how am I helping Boehly? I promise you, Chelsea board, if you change the coach, you can play again. You can get into top four. Maybe that will happen. I don't know. Again, it's painful, really. Potter, okay, okay, no problem. But is that you? Are you the one backstage? You let me know. I can make an exception because of you. Again, a Potter is so clueless, but even being on camera, it's so different. You just speak your mind. That's just that. Potter is so clueless. Again, no, 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 no. Please don't go that far. Please, again, we don't want it to get to that. Again, if you're watching, if you have not, please take a second, drop a like on the stream, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do go a long way. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the support. We are at 15 likes already. Let's get it again to 2025 and 100 as soon as possible. The likes do go a long way. And here's what I was saying here. I was saying, again, I was one of those that was happy that he was the one picked. That he was the one picked to become the replacement for Thomas Tuchel. And I supported him. And again, I was when people argue that he hasn't won anything. My argument has always been there's a first for everything. Yep, and I argue Pep Guardiola didn't start again winning from his mom's belly. Again, he was, again, Carlo Ancelotti had mentioned this manager, and I argue they didn't start winning from their mother's belly. They started somewhere. I used to argue that daily, and every time I said, let's give him to the end of the season, maybe then we'd have enough sample to judge the man. But now, honestly, I gotta say, there's a chance by the time we get to the end of the season, it'd be too late. Because as much as it is still mathematically possible for us to make it into top four, it is very much mathematically possible for us not again to get relegated. Whether we like it or not, I know it's easy to deny it and say it's not going to happen. It's actually it's very very possible. It's mathematically possible either way, if that makes sense to you. Let me see what else I have here. Just give me one second here. I'm going to be back to you guys. So yeah, it is really a concerning, a very very concerning situation. Um, yep, I'm not going to be fair again. Let's watch the language we use. I'm not very good in these live streaming. Oh, I get your argument, but we have to be sure because there's that situation I have to explain. The reason why, again, most people were opting to see people's face before we let them in the backstage. Somebody on two occasions has, again, gotten the opportunity to get on the stage, again, on the panel, and then play an extracted sound and video, actually. It led to the closure of two of my friends' channel. They had to, again, push for nearly a month to get it back. Kachula, are you ready to put the fixtures up on the screen? I'm counting three draws, one win. Give me 1 second. We'll get to that in a bit. I'm roaching in. What do we have here? Again, a tactical, inept, no in-game management, the worst Chelsea manager ever, a shocking bank average. Again, you have every right to argue that because the records show, the numbers show he's actually, again, if we if we say let's stop now and look at his numbers, look at the previous manager's numbers. He's taking the mantle as the worst manager at the club right now. Again, I don't see ourselves getting 10 points out of 10 games. It, it's a solid argument given how badly we've played of late. And again, I'm not sure where to start arguing again this situation. Again, can someone explain does Havertz again does Havertz had any personal video of Potter that playing him every match? I don't know. And I don't want to start talking about it from that angle if that makes sense. We still have to play Newcastle United, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester City, plus a Brighton. Yeah, it is concerning. It doesn't look good. It would take some, again, a turnaround, again, of our mentality, again, a change. I don't know how to start explaining what it would take for us to, like, get tangible points out of the possible points we can get from 5 games. In 5 games, then 15 points. This is, again, Newcastle 1, Arsenal 2, Liverpool 3, Man City 4, and Brighton 5. Leeds United, that's actually 18 points. So it would take some miracle for us to get up to 10 points from that. And it's very concerning given that it's come to a measure where we cannot even trust how many points we're capable of getting. Big up to you, JC, and thank you so much again for finding the time to be on your camera. That goes a long way. I appreciate that. I'm going to come to you right away. Your thoughts on the situation. If you want to start from the game, what do you think, really? Can you hear me? I can hear you move. I think you moved your thing, but if you're not speaking, let me know if you can hear me.
Can
If
you
you're
hear me?
yeah, yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jesse. I can hear you. I can even hear your breath.
Hold on a second. I, I I missed your question. I missed your initial because I have two screens. So
I was asking your thoughts on the game. That again, the last. Let's start from the last game. Let's not go through the whole 16 games or 15 games overall. Your thoughts on the game. What do you think went wrong?
yeah, I think Potter is trying to do too many things all together, and he's overcomplicating things. I mean, back five, then he's going back to back two, back four, you say. And then I think the players, there are too many changes in the team, but also within the game and the setting, he's making too many changes. It's not enough for players to I mean, they have to adjust to new players, but not only that, you're also constantly changing the team, everything. So it will take, I do not know how many days or months before everybody starts to
Hmm.
understand. And if you compare by with others like Conte or Sari or Tuchel, they have a system, a philosophy, and they change their philosophies according to the team. Even Conte in Chelsea tried to start with back four. Then later on, when it was not working, he shifted to back three. But then they come to a system, and then
Yeah,
they start
mhm. Go
playing
ahead, go
players.
ahead.
But with Graham, he's changing five times within a game. So imagine how much players have to take and understand like their positions and everything. And not every player is comfortable with every system. And then he is also bringing in medical staff. Like, I cannot play this player, so I have to make five changes, then again changes. It's too many things. He's like overcomplicating things, and it's not working well. I mean, it's too much. I think I mean, it's
Yeah,
turning a football
here's
into rocket
something you
science.
mhm. Here's something
So,
you
so
mentioned that's interesting is the fact that he's trying to do too much at the same time. And
yeah,
believe me, I have been one of his strongest supporters because I understand you start from somewhere. Even if you argue he hasn't won anything, something has to start from somewhere. And I did again. I used previously again a few again a week ago or two. I still strongly believe that he could turn things around. And again, but here's the thing: you made a very great point. It doesn't look like the man. Again, it just looked like as if the man is trying to do much too much at the same time. He's not even pragmatic enough. In such a situation, you have to be pragmatic to overcome the situation. It doesn't have to be pretty because a single win will go a long way for the team. Try and be pragmatic. It doesn't have forget you have even if you have a team, a crop of players that's worth $1 billion. First of all, try get a win and take it from there. Be as pragmatic as possible. And at one time, when he made the change during the game, I think we were winning 1-0. I don't remember the result of that particular game. He made changes and brought in defenders. I was happy that at least he was trying to see off the game. But it
yeah,
has gotten worse, and it doesn't look like he reacts to situations very quick. It's usually too late by the time he reacts. And that's not okay. DJ, just give me a few minutes so that, again, when JC leaves the stage, you can come back in if you can hear me. So, JC, you made a very, very good point. Yeah, even if you want to start again, get the team to start playing in a certain way, you take it gradually. And you mentioned Antonio Conte. He tried one thing, it didn't work. He immediately switched to what he knows how to do best. That again, maybe again, if Graham Potter, if what he knows how to do best isn't working, switch to something else and get it going. Again, let me get your final thoughts. What do you think he should do again to get things going in the right direction? And again, if DJ comes in and he speaks, if there's still time enough, I will bring you in. But again, you made an excellent point, and I will never forget that. Go ahead.
see, I would start with simplifying things. I mean, I have gone through leadership classes, because I lead organizations, and one
Yeah.
of the first things people tend to like, people who are following you, your instructions, your guidelines have to be very simple, so that people can understand and people can follow, and then start to build on that. If he has to start that all our teamwork starts working in a chemistry, in a system, I
Mhm.
think he has to simplify, and you rightly said it, make it step by step. But the basic has to be, a structure has to be very basic and very clear. At the moment, he's not clear with us fans. We don't understand what he's trying to do. He says process, 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 working, working. But of course, he does not need to advise us all his ideas and everything. I hope he's advising to the players, and they do get what he's saying. Because if he's just like that, like in like a very vague and like process, process, I think he will lose the players as well. I mean, players will try, but if everything is going above head, then they eventually will also like make faces, yeah, as if they are trying, but they don't. They are lost. They will be lost.
They look lost. And let me ask you this question one more before I bring in DJ. Do you think, does it look like you can, again, maybe two more questions. Do you think like the team look like they're being coached properly?
No, no, basic things are missing. I mean, if you look at it, like what was Mount doing in the second goal in front of the goal? I mean, he's not even very tall guy, and he was defending Eric Dyer. I mean, twice his size, and how can you do that? And also, Fofana comes in and he's clearing the ball, but he's just shooting it upwards. I mean, he's like 2 meters from the sideline. Just give a corner, and then it's safe. I mean, if you ask Thiago what he will do, he will look for the nearest sideline and he will kick the ball out. And then we have a set piece, and then you can plan everything. But if you are just throwing it like lobbing the ball out, it comes back very fast. So this is all coaching. This is basic coaching. Maybe he has
Yeah,
too
just
many players to coach at the
go
same
ahead.
time, but coaching is missing.
It is missing indeed. Jesse, one more question for you. And again, and if you're on Twitter, please send me a message. I really would like to add you to the panelist group for the Blue Morning shows so that whenever, Blue Morning shows, we can have 6, 10 panelists at the same time. But this, again, I want to keep 2 panelists again again, the daily roundup show. It will always be 2 panelists at the same time. And one person comes in, goes out again, and somebody else comes in. As long as it is an open panel. One more question for you is this. Do you think that the players they trust them? Do you see any signs that show you they trust them, or do you think they don't trust them?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, it is overhyped in the media. All that players would normally follow the manager. I mean, they are all professional, and especially at this top level, they're all. It's a different thing that they will get lost. I mean, if it's like you're attending a mathematics class, but if you do not understand mathematics and you are, then suddenly everything is flying behind. I mean, above your head. I mean, it's you like it or not like it, you're not getting it. If you're not getting it, then you're lost. But that's the communication problem. I hope he's getting the communication right. I mean, I don't believe these professional players will ever down the tools. No, I don't
So
believe
you
it.
don't think it's become a case of the players not trusting the manager?
No, I mean, it won't be a. They would most likely not admit that they are trusting. They would not know whether the manager is wrong or they are not understanding properly. Or it. I mean, how if your teacher, if you're not understanding your teacher in a classroom, does that mean you will not trust the teacher? No, I mean, you would think like maybe, but I am not getting things. But you will remain silent, you will remain quiet. The communication has to be very clear and simple, and there has to be a two. Communication is a both way. I do not know. I mean, we cannot speculate what is going on there, but the players seem a little bit not fine tuned to his system or whatever it is. I mean, they seem like it's not working. It's not working.
Yeah.
So
And
maybe
just
he
quickly,
needs.
I'm gonna let you know. Actually, don't worry. I think you're good at it. You're a natural. Actually, you're able to express yourself confidently and very coherently. So I love it. And are you on Twitter?
I am, but
Please do
let
follow
me
me on
see.
Twitter
I
because
have
I
not
want to
opened
add
it
you.
for 2 years.
Yeah, just follow me. Follow Chelsea Perspective on Twitter, and I'll add you to the panelist group. I like your opinion, very articulating. We're able to express yourself. So again, let me get DJ Sharp. He's in backstage so that he can go to sleep again. What time is it? Your area? Probably 2 a.m.,
Oh,
3 a.m. or
it's like
so.
12:20 now, 20 minutes past 12. So I will be going to sleep very soon.
All right, Jesse. Much
Yeah,
love to you, brother. I appreciate all the support. And by the way, I've made you a mod now because I can trust you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You're a moderator now. See you in the morning if you have time for the Blue Morning Show. Thank you. Let me bring a DJ Sal in.
yeah,
Yeah, again, before DJ comes in, I'm gonna before DJ comes in, I'm gonna catch up with a bit of what we have in the chat here. Again, yep. Ever since supporter came to this club, we've experienced nothing but pain. You can't argue that. And this one says again, we need a Mourinho in the dugout and Boehly back in LA. Again, unfortunately, that is never gonna happen. And again, I don't think the Mourinho is the one for this project. And I think even those you signed for $10 million, they drop onto the bench. Let me bring in DJ. DJ, just give me a few minutes. I'll come back to you. Coach, again, Coach, with the way we are playing, we are going down to the relegation bottom with Potter. I wouldn't argue otherwise because, again, we're 10 points off top four, 10 points off relegation. So, again, I've argued before it's not possible, but it's actually possible. Please, again, stop making excuses for this manager. It's not a good, it's not a good full stop. Again, yep, Valley, how are you doing? Neri Hushford, I think Potter has lost the dressing room. That I wouldn't say that's the wrong argument, but again, I have all the issues that again I don't think it's really about him losing the dressing room. To be fair, Brighton played good football on the ground, Potter, but they have no cutting edge. I see the same with the performance at Chelsea. Yep, they played good football. They played as a unit. They struggled to score goals. Maybe what would change Potter? Maybe will be I don't know. I'm not making excuses for him anymore. I simply do not think is the man. Maybe if they get him a traditional striker and he changes and accommodates as a traditional striker, his teams will start scoring goals. We don't know. Big up to you, DJ. You're on the panel already. I won't hold you down too much, but I'll come to you in a bit. I am mentally exhausted from watching Chelsea. This isn't the Chelsea I fell in love with. This is sad, but we have to weather it. We have to weather it. We can't stop supporting Chelsea because the manager isn't doing well or because we don't like the manager. I am tired of suffering with this team. No tactical ideas, a lack of in-game management. He is clueless. He does not have any ideas how to influence this game, especially when we are 1-0 down. I couldn't agree more with that comment right there. Personally, I don't see us winning other game. Potter must go. He has no clue at all. The players have no clue either. They seem confused. Potter will not be good today. Tomorrow, no. Wow, that's a long. Again, I missed Rogers' slaughter. Was it eventful or didn't he just again stack excuses after excuses for his clients? His thing. Roger will always be Roger, and Roger will always be the devil's advocate. So if we all agree, we don't have a show. And so I don't have anything against him again, but it was heated. It was a heated debate in the morning, and DJ missed it. And Choma asks Coach again, is this an emergency hangout? No, it's a daily show. Comes out again usually at 9 p.m. UK time. It's called a daily roundup. Our job again on this show is to bring in you could say pull everything again that's been said about Chelsea during the day, dump them into a single bucket, analyze, and then present it to you, and then get your opinion, present our opinion. So if you were at work during the day or at school during the day, we'll help you catch up. Julius Armour says again, all the players were signed this winter did not come because of Potter. They all came again because of the club. Exactly. So let's support the club. More importantly, and the players. I think he's lost the dressing room. The players have stopped playing for him. I think so too. But again, player power is bad. I don't think it's player power really, again, because once the result isn't coming, the players will stop trusting you. If you're leading a squad and if you let them into failure so many occasions, they will start questioning your ability to lead them. They're not professionals. Look at Ziyech. That is not enough. Ziyech's behavior is unworried. I don't think he acted like again, he's not experienced in football. He could have gotten a red card, and it would have still been a good decision, even if the Tottenham players sorted it. Retaliation usually gets you a red card. Potter obviously does not know how to control a big dressing room. You could argue that Chelsea need an identity. We do, and this again, this squad has majority players who could walk into any team in Europe. Potter is a problem. I think the same too. Again, it's clear I supported him all this while, finding excuses, knowing that again there's a first for everything. But again, I can't, except if he proves otherwise. Then I'll say, okay, let's go with him. Players don't respect again or fear Potter. I'm sensing that too. All Ancelotti has to do is look at the player a certain way, and the player will play like his family is being held hostage. Potter doesn't have that. Again, unfortunately, and he's told you, yeah, he's not that type of person, and he's not going to start faking his behavior. The old players have infected the new players. Bad again, marinating. Wow, that's some argument. How Arsenio can accept less minutes and still give always 100% on field? Our players are not professional. You could argue that, Did you guys see remaining fixtures? It's crazy. We will look at it in a bit. I think we would have kind of won if we played four. Maybe 5-5-5 would do. Kevin says that these some of you can go to sleep early. I am in New York City and it's 5:20 p.m. Yep, I'm in Vegas and it's again 2:25 p.m. Again, I still have 5 hours of painful Chelsea loss. I'm sorry about that, Kevin. Before I go to sleep, yeah, I understand totally. Again, big up DJ. And again, Potter is not good for us, and players are not professionals again for that yet. If they stop playing for him, then it's not okay, really. But that's just against how what I think is happening. And Valley says again, have you seen Potter's substitutions today and what he did? Have you seen his first first what? First 11 today. Again, have you seen him bring Mount on? What else can I say? I don't know. You just speak your mind. Every fish stinks from its head. Boehly and Ibali out. Unfortunately, the owners are not going to go anywhere. So again, anyone who is supporting him is a rival. Well, that's you. I wouldn't call them rival. We all have. Some people still have a solid reason. If you ask them, they try to explain to you why they still support him. DJ, I'm going to bring you in. Sorry again for reaching out to you.
No, bro. Not at all.
Because you're my brother, and you're always one
Not
of the
at
first
all,
I always
brother.
come
Not
to
at
and
all.
say I need you. So DJ,
Not at all,
your thoughts on the game. What do you think went wrong?
Yeah, first of all, Kachila, big up to you, bro, and thank you very
Big
much.
up to
It's
you
not
too, brother.
not at all for coming on your show. You know how much I like coming on your show, speaking with, interacting with all the Chelsea fans on the comments, and everyone that comes on the panel. Big up to every single one of them. Yeah, listen, very down tools and downgraded at the moment, mate. What can I say? You know, I came on your show, I think yesterday when we spoke on Saturday in the after, I think it was yesterday's stream, and I said I was quite confident about today's game because I thought, you know, it's Tottenham. We usually tend to turn up against Tottenham. You know,
3 points land, you called it.
3 points land, as I called it. You know, and I'll still stick with that. You know, still say that because all our other previous managers before Potter, even the ones that were caretaker managers, either got draws or wins. But this guy's failed. I mean, literally, he's winning. The thing of all is Potter's making records. But he's breaking records. He's breaking every single record this whole Chelsea team has done
In a
over the
negative
years.
way.
In a negative way, I was going to say, in a negative way. He's breaking all those records that we worked so hard to get, you know, as a club and how far we've come. It's all being destroyed at this moment in time. And I'll be honest with you. You know, I said to you last week when we lost to Southampton, I said Potter out. And I think maybe it was a reaction because I was a bit, you know, so downgraded about down tooled about the way we were playing, the way things all went. And then I thought, you know what? I thought I had a chance to think over it in the week. Then I thought, you know what? Maybe I was a bit tough saying what I said. Give him a chance, see what he does against Tottenham because who the team was. But again today, mate, I just saw it again today. You know, again, there's no animation on the bench. There's no, and every time he talks about things, even in his post match today, Kachila. It's about the players. He's not saying we. It's about the players are feeling so down about things. The players are this, and it's up to me then to get into these players and help them out. I'm like thinking, what do you mean we? So what do you mean about these players? What about you? Are you not part of all this? I mean, do you see yourself like out, you know, just there in the background, you know, while the players are the ones that have to go out and do it on a pitch week in, week out? Right, you're the manager, for God's sake. You're the one coaching these players to go and do something out there, and clearly the message is not getting across to these players because clearly nothing's happening. You know, we saw it today again against Spurs. You know, where I think we had our first shot on goal. I think towards the end when Raheem Sterling had his shot saved by the goalkeeper, but no, there was no one there then to tap the ball into the back of the net when the goalkeeper had saved it. So you know, again, that's not on Potter. That is not obviously up to the player to get in the box and score the goal, but it's still up to the manager to say, you know, at half time, come out for the second half, make the changes early. Aubameyang for me should have come on early, not after Tottenham go 2-0 up. He brings them on to go and salvage a game with 10 or 20 minutes left of the game to do.
Probably you could say he brought him on at a time where he's actually furious that he was even on the bench. He'd regret again coming to Chelsea at the point when he brought him on. He'd actually be on the pitch just for the sake of it. But go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, you saw his face, Kachel. I mean, the cameras are on his face for them. I think at one point in this game, his face was like thunder. At one point, he just didn't. He just clearly did not want to be there, did he? Looking at
Mhm.
Bamiyang's face today, he just clearly did not want to be there. And look, look, you can't. He's dropped the kid. He's dropped the guy out of a Champions League squad. Okay, so you're thinking, okay, he's not going to be part of your Champions League team. At least make him play a part in the play a part in the Premiership games. Start him in games. Give him a chance or something or another, because we do need something at this moment in time. Like, the game is literally crying out for someone to go and do something. And at the moment, what I'm seeing of this club at the moment, okay, is it's not my Chelsea. It's not how it's not the Chelsea I'm used to seeing. This is not Chelsea. And we are becoming a laughing stock week in, week out from rival fans, just in general, the way things are going on in that football club. And then you've got owners who are just sitting back, letting this all happen and unfold in front of their eyes. And you're thinking, when are they going to start to act on it because what they're going to wait for till we go out of the Champions League, then they're going to act. By that time, what top manager can you bring in as a caretaker to come in and say, okay, I'll see you through till the end of the season? Because there's going to be no manager that's going to want to come and do it. While we've still got the Champions League hope, my thing would be is get rid of Potter tomorrow morning. That's what I would say. Get him into the office, say, sorry, Graham, it's not worked out. For the sake of your career, for the sake of everything else, it's not working out. I'm going to move on to someone else because we need to salvage our season. At the moment, we're not going to salvage anything, bro. The way things are going.
If you can, do you think that DJ, if we can, because if they fire him now, it would be very expensive. I heard there's also a clause that people are saying they don't think they'll pay him up to 60 million or so. But even at that, I still think it will be an expensive decision if they decide to fire him. Do you think that's the reason why they're reluctant? Because the truth is, except if they're under the rock, if they're watching the same game we're watching, and they're being truthful to themselves, I get it. We've signed too many players. I get it. He came in mid-season. I get it. Again, lots of injuries hasn't helped. But he's just again, he appears. He gives out the impression that he's clueless. Do you think the reason they're being reluctant is how much again they'd be paying, they'd be spending if they fire him?
Well, do you know what, Kachila? They've got us in this mess. They got to get us out of it. No one. I think you ask any person in this panel. Sorry, in the comment section right now. Mm-hmm. You can put it out there. Did you guys want Graham Potter as your next manager after we sacked Thomas Tuchel? I think you're going to say, I'll probably say 95 or 98% of the people in this comment section are going to say, no, we didn't want Potter, right? Okay, now that tells you everything you need to know. If they are listening to the fans in general, why the heck would you go and hire a manager? Okay, that is, okay, fair enough. He's managed Brighton. He's done them to that's his levels at the moment. That is his levels. Chelsea Football Club has come, if you like, it's come as a Christmas present for him, this job has. Yeah? It's his early Christmas present. I'm managing a big club. Look at the history we've been doing. Look at the trophies we've been winning. I've come into a big club now. Well, mate, you want to come into a big club like Chelsea, man, you've got to play your part. You've got to play your part well. And at the moment, he is showing that sign of being a clueless manager because he clearly doesn't know what he's doing on the pitch with all these players. Now, if it was a Pep, if it was a Klopp, if it was even a Tuchel, if it was a Guardiola, if it was even a Luis Enrique, a Hansi Flick, I can name all these big name managers, yeah? They'll know exactly what to do with this bunch of players and how to make them winners, how to make them better players. This guy hasn't got a clue. He moans about saying, I've got a squad of so many players because I'm not used to managing them many players. Well, mate, this is Chelsea Football Club. This is not Brighton.
And you should know that we're going to have that many players because of Chelsea. Yeah, go ahead. Exactly. That's very correct.
Yeah. Look at the competitions we're playing in. We're a club that goes for everything every year. We're going for the Premiership. We're going for the domestic cups. We're going into Europe. Of course, you should know what you're getting yourself into when you're coming. Don't moan about the players you've got. Every other manager will probably be happy saying, I've got a great squad there. Let me go and try and make it work now. I've got my opportunity to come and manage a big club. Let me come and give it the opportunity. Let me give him my best. This at the moment, I don't see that with him. I don't really see. And every time you see him in his press conference, I mean, the man had the nerve the other day. I'm not going to lie here, right? The guy had a nerve to mention I think it was his press conference he did on Friday, right? Oh, I just had a crisis meeting. Okay, call it a joke, but this is Chelsea Football Club, bro. You don't come out and say I just had a crisis meeting. Right, yeah, when you know the situation is the way it is, and you're going around telling the whole world in a press conference and laughing about it was your own little joke. Oh, I just came out of a crisis meeting. I'm like thinking to myself, mate, how serious are you taking this job, bro? How serious are you taking this job? Are you really looking at the job that's in front of you and the task you need to do and manage this club? Because at the moment, you haven't got a clue what you're doing. Yeah. And that
Oh
for
my
me,
gosh, we're in serious
that
trouble.
that for me in itself says everything you need to know about the manager we've got. And listen, I was all, like you, as you know, Kachilla, right? I was so again, and I don't believe anybody, even people in the comment section, when it comes to family and it comes to things like that, you do not go and send stupid messages out because you don't like somebody and you threaten their lives. Yeah, that
No,
is
that's
uncalled for,
unacceptable. Yep, we all can agree that.
unacceptable,
Mhm.
complete unprofessional. It just makes the club look bad. Okay, but what I will say in terms of Potter as a manager, okay, this is I'm talking about Potter the manager, nothing to do with him personal. You are not the guy for this job. It's as simple as that. You are not the guy. If Todd, Boehly and co know best in the morning, take this man in the office and say, put him out of his misery and say, look, I'm sorry, GP, it's not working. It's not working. We're going out of things. Look where we're lying in the Premier League. We're now -2 goal difference, Kachilla. -2 goal difference in the Premier table at the moment. In 10th spot. Villa win next week. We're bottom half of the table. Simple as that. It's done. We're fighting
Oh my
relegation. I'm
god.
sorry to say this. We're fighting relegation. We're in a relegation dogfight. I'm not saying we're going to be fighting
We
relegation,
are
but we're going to
already
be in
again.
there.
Honestly, there's no
31
painting
points.
Yeah,
31 points,
unfortunately,
bro.
yeah. Yeah,
Man,
again, if you're watching, if you haven't taken a
peak.
second, drop a like on the stream. Thank you for 23 likes already. Let's get it to 50 and 100 as soon as possible. And if you haven't, take a second again, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And the link to the panel is pinned at the top. However, the rule is you must be on camera. So if anybody else comes backstage, now again, I want to give DJ a break because it's very late. He's doing this
That's
because
all right,
he's my
bro.
bro. And that's, by
No,
the way,
not at
again,
all. Not at all. Yes,
much
I'm your
love,
brother, yeah. I'm your
much love,
bro, but not because of that
much
reason.
love.
Trust me. I love being
Much
on
love,
here.
DJ. I understand. So, DJ, let's look at this. Look at again,
Yeah.
Ash, again, our schedule. But quickly, I want to catch
Yeah.
up with what we have the chat before we
Sure,
start
go for
looking
it.
again at current schedule. We
Yeah.
have again Logan saying Potter is happy with the situation, with this situation. I feel like he would like to be sacked and get big money. Whatever you think, these results are not normal. Whether you
Yeah.
support Potter, whether again you're for Potter out, it's not normal. And again,
Yeah.
the truth remains, whatever excuse you bring up, again, however factual you want to be, look at the numbers, look at the injuries we've had, look at the new signings we've made. It still comes down to, yeah, we should be doing better than we're doing, no
100%.
matter how you want to
100%.
see it. It's as simple as that. And I've always said that, and I've always given him time. But let me say one thing I would never do is start yelling Potter out, because it will not change anything. If I'm being honest, I'm just going to tell you, I don't think he's the man until proven otherwise. Why players must play for coach? They must play for the club. Wow, that is some argument.
That's true
That is
as well.
some. Eugene, I gotta say, this is the most delicious comment this evening. You must play for the club, not the coach. Yep,
Very
that's
true.
the truth. They must win without more than 216. Yep, again, it makes sense. I get your argument. I have seen again. I haven't seen a coach again so unsecure about himself. He has the players to bring results, but again, he results to excuses. Game management is poor. He really has no track record. We have a new member here. I'm gonna check who that is in a bit.
Oh, big up.
Yep. I'm gonna say again. This is a delicious comment from Eugene Nutty. Big up, bro. You know I love you so much. What do we have here? Don't joke with me. Are you fighting with somebody in the chat there? The bare minimum is beating a 20th managerless Southampton. And again, you could say temporary manager or again interim manager for sports too, but that's the least of my concern. Any manager can beat you. Even a team without a manager can also beat you. The whole thing comes down again what you do. Not again. I don't care whether they have a manager or not. Potter cannot even do that. Well, but I get your argument. Hi, coach. I sent you a message on Twitter. I've responded, brother. Thank you so much, and I've added you to the panelist group because you're very articulate and you look again like a responsible individual. So I want to have you be part of again the family. Hello to you too, Momo Rashid. Nice to see you. Potter Clock again. They say it again. That's again a Tasmanian devil has let us down again. Please don't call him that name. Please, I beg you. You know I love you.
It's not nice.
Much
But
respect,
still.
but please don't do that. DJ Chama saying, Hello to you. DJ is usually, again, a calm gentleman. I never heard him talking like this before.
Big up to
For
you so much.
DJ not to still be Potter in, wow, something is wrong. Aurora Arbo, thank you so much and welcome.
Big
Thank you
up.
so much for becoming a member, bro. Much love to you. Big up and thank you for doing that. And I'm going to explain we're doing that. It's going to help the channel, but more importantly, I have a plan in place to always support students monthly. And the membership will help us. And again, if you become a member, if we see your comment in the chat, we'll highlight it, and those on the panel will discuss it. So, Aurora Arbo, thank you so much for becoming a member. Why did Potter not start again Badiashile in this game? I don't know. But I really don't think, again, that our problem today was the defense. But I get your argument, Phil Sips. If this doesn't change, it's going to be embarrassing to get relegated after spending over 540 million during two transfer windows. Then go to the championship. And I don't think we have the sort of players that would do well in the championship because it's a different ball game altogether, no matter how you say it. Maybe it's not the coach's fault regarding Alba's situation. It could be the owners making decisions in the background. I wouldn't, again, I don't doubt that because why would they be willing to pay his salary, but he must join LAFC? The whole thing came down to him saying no, he doesn't want to go to the US. So that's the chance they want him out. I lost it when we were 1-0 down and Potter brought on Mount and Dennis instead of Alba. He didn't even bring in an attacker. Zakaria was a good addition because he changed the dynamics, the dynamics of the midfield, and we started playing better. Alba again is a problem everywhere he's been. I wouldn't jump to that conclusion. Nightbot again is a robot. Yep, Nightbot is a machine. Police in the chat. Board is guilty for everything. They don't buy a players again with good character. You could argue that, but maybe that changes from now on. The robot is the supervisor in case we misbehave. Yep, thank you for explaining that. Aurora Elbo, it baffles me when people point to Brighton Hove and Albion as an example of this great success. Played 134 matches, 43 wins, 43 draws, 48 losses. Brighton Hove and Albion, please can someone tell me that this is again the success we saw in him? The owners must act now. Here's the thing. I think we've talked about that before, and the argument we had is that again they probably hired him because of his potential. They believe he's the guy for the long-term project. They believe he's the guy that we're better off working with young kids. DJ, you can take your time, take care of whatever you want to take care of, bro. Family comes first.
Oh no, bro! My daughter was just trying to reach the. She was trying to go into the bathroom. She was trying to reach the thing. She's managed to reach the light bulb.
Okay. I believe if Boehly hired again Vivel or Sakin Tuchel, Potter would have gotten him the job. Again, hey, hello. Let's see what we have again. Potter careless about what the Chelsea fans think. You could say that. What do we have again? I hope that tomorrow we will buy again a new club so that Graham Potter can go on loan. This one is hilarious, really. But that's by the way. Again, the board just needs to cut its losses and let him go. We just need someone to finish the season when we can start the review during the preseason. Yep, again, some solid argument right there, but I don't know what they're going to do. It's time to go now. Much again, go now. Much again, big brother. Big brother, it's nice to see you. Big up, Nee. I hope you're doing well. Big up, my brother. How are you doing? Again, please do let me know you're okay. If you're watching. If you haven't, go check out Nee Zion's YouTube channel. I have to say, one of the fastest growing YouTube channels, Chelsea YouTube channels right now. And the views are astronomical. You need to be part of the growth. Don't wait until he gets to 100,000 before you join. Go check out his channel. Click the 3 dots to his name. Click on go to channel. Again, be sure to subscribe and let him know his brother, Kuchela, sent you. Big ups again to you, everyone there in the chat. Let me see anything else to get. 12 million a season to be 10th in the league. Potter is still in again. I don't accuse him. I don't care how much he earns. It's not my business. The owners again, they negotiated and they felt like it's worth it. It's their business. Let them deal with it. Really, his salary is not my business. I just want to see a result. What do you think of Zidane? I would say no. Again, as much again he achieved whatever he achieved then. But I'll have DJ commented this before again. But I'll come back to him. I just highlighted it. I'll come back to that in a bit. Potter is happy with the situation because he's a sack. He will be rich again. While if he stays, he will suffer due to lack of results. Wow, some comment right there. Every record that Chelsea have set at sports ground, Potter has broken it. Yeah, he has broken so many records in a negative way, and that breaks the heart, really. Leeds United appointed a new coach who started to do well. So Leeds will visit Chelsea with an effective plan to grab 3 points plus the new manager bounce, if that makes sense. Courtney says, I noticed Chelsea is the only team when attacking will look scared. Meanwhile, the other teams look excited when they get a chance to attack. Yep, I agree with you. Like a hurricane just to score. Yep, I agree with you. Again, the easiest win Tottenham never had over us. Yep, that was a break. That broke my heart. And Mario Minto, bigger brother, thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Potter isn't handling the pressure well. I just realized that the days of wearing for the players, they wear for Potter. Really? Really? That's concerning, really. DJ, can you talk about this? People calling for us to hire Zidane. We haven't gotten to that. I don't think
No,
I don't think they're going to fire him. Let's be honest.
no,
We just have to learn
no, I
to
don't think
support our club in the situation. But DJ, your thoughts?
100%.
Yeah, what do you think about
Yeah, listen, is it about what about Zidane or just
Mhm.
in general? Listen, I get where Mitchell or big up to him, by the way. I get where they're coming from with the Zidane chance to come and manage our club. Look, to be honest with you, is he the guy for me? Okay, he's managed Galacticos. We've got to look at the teams that he managed at Real Madrid and how much they won with Real Madrid, how much he won with Real Madrid in that team. Is he the kind of guy that we need to come in now? Listen, he's not going to want to come in and just be here till the end of the season. He's going to want to stay beyond that. Whether I think he's the guy for long term, possibly not me. If I was to choose a manager now for the long term, I probably would have to say, and if he becomes available in the summer, will be Hansi Flick. But again, that's another long shot because it's whether he'll leave the German job as well. For me at the moment, like you said, I don't see the club getting rid of Potter anytime soon. I think it's going to be another one of those where we have to ride, as you said, Katina, we have to ride it again for another week or whatever long it's going to take. And I don't think at this moment in time, I don't think the owners really want to make a change from everything's coming out of everything. They don't want to make the change. And it seems like he's going to be here for quite a while. I hope that we're wrong. And tomorrow morning the news comes that he's gone and they're going to bring somebody else in. Who do we bring in as a caretaker manager? And I've said Luis Enrique. I know there are a lot of fans out there that say no, Luis Enrique, because of his situation. However, what I'll say about Luis Enrique, he's still a winner. And is he the kind of guy that could just come in maybe as a caretaker manager come the end of the season? Again, I say to myself, would he want to be a caretaker manager at the end of the season? If he ends up, God forbid, God wills it, we end up going and winning the Champions League with Luis Enrique, there's no way he's going to want to walk out of the Chelsea job. And why should he? He's like what Thomas Tuchel did. He come in, steadied the ship, and we ended up winning the Champions League when he took over for Frank Lampard. So yeah, there's a lot said on all this. But for me, I think I would personally hope that the board will see sense and say to Potter, enough is enough. It's not going to happen. I don't personally think, and we are, like you said, Kachila, we're going to have to stick with it. I'm afraid until as and when they make that change.
Yeah, again, I have to agree with you. Again, let me prioritize this and read it. I'll go back to others there. The degree in emotional intelligence doesn't seem to be working. It doesn't look like it's helping. Even the mentality guy it doesn't look like it's. I don't know. Has it started work or is it working and it's not working? I don't know. Now it's sounding like a rapper. The degree in emotional intelligence doesn't seem to be working. GP's successor has done far better than GP in the short term. And GP again, Brighton Hove Albion playing far much better now than without him they actually have improved. Their goals the actually has improved, and again, and in so many ways. What does that say? Quite a lot. Quite a lot. It's a problem, and I don't know. Again, it begs the question: did they not even look at his record before they hired him? I think he had 31 win percentage at Brighton, and they hired him. But if you bring that up, I usually argue they hired him because of his potential. but it does. Chelsea isn't a club where you let anybody take over and learn on the go or on the job. It's a high risk. Just here again, only good things about today is that Chelsea women won today. I trust them; they always win. I'm not concerned about them. And File Diazo, aka Boogeyman, you get to feel again of for Boehly. He sees something important and puts 12 million a year. I can only imagine its deception today. Sitting there. Yeah, that's hilarious, really. I'm not sure what to make of that, if I'm being honest. How many days off, again, are players going to get after their great job at sports? Yeah, again, the days off, again, like Mario Minto says here, he just realized it was for Potter because probably he was mentally drained and he isn't dealing with, again, the whole pressure very well. So he had to take a break. But DJ, again, let's assume again it was really for the players. Does it make sense at the time when we need a win? Why rest
Man,
players? It doesn't make any sort of sense.
it doesn't, Coachella. What, and especially with it being one of our biggest. Well, it is a big one of our biggest games. One of the biggest games of the season, or who the opposition is. I don't know why. Coachella. Maybe the rest was mainly for him and and maybe for his mindset. I don't know. Because like I said, I don't think the players needed that, and maybe the players were even surprised at that many days off. But from what I understand, it wasn't fully like that. From what I understand, was they did train, but they were not training outside; they were training inside. So I don't think they gave that many days off. I think the days that they're saying they had 4 days, whatever it is. I think they had the 2 days, which was apparently discussed after the game against Southampton. Yeah, I think they had Monday and Tuesday off, and then Wednesday and Thursday. I do believe the training. I think the training got taken place inside because obviously he's building this new thing for the players. This new, I don't know, whatever he said he's going to be building for the players for them to go and play. I don't know, maybe PlayStation games or whatever it might be. All right, he's building this new thing at the training ground for them. So yeah, listen, is that training more than enough to go and train inside? If you're doing drills, especially if you're doing drills outside, you need to be outside to do your certain drills outside, especially like corner kicks, penalties, free kick, whatever you want to call it. You need to be outside doing that. The players need a full on pitch to train to actually go and do what they need to be told. I mean, so for me, I don't get it for me if why he's why he would have, if that was the case, why he would have given that many days off, because clearly you saw today they didn't need that much time off because they played on the. You saw what happened was today we lost. So yeah, it's a strange one for me on that one. It really
It
is.
is indeed. Again, if you're watching, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream, and also do subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, something else I want us to look at in a bit. We've read that one again. Give Emma Hayes the job. As she probably tell you she doesn't want it. She's doing well where she is. As long as some of our fan base see Arsenal and Arteta as a model, as models of progress, it means that we are in the wrong direction. Yeah, we're in serious trouble. We're in serious trouble. They Arsenal haven't actually won the league, and I don't think they'd win it. I think they still lose up again, but they will stay remain in top four. Big up DJ, I can feel
Big
your
up, Blue
heartbeat, bro. Again,
Clouds.
I
Big up,
wish
bro.
I own a Chelsea. I will make your wish come true. That is so much love right there for one
Big up
man,
to
and
him. Big up to
not
me.
even because of Coachella, but because of DJ. But that's fine.
No,
Flick, Enrique,
no.
Zidane. Yeah, I want to say Zidane, Enrique, and again DJ. By the way, I used to question Enrique's ability, but I'm taking my time. I think he's more than just a tiki-taka coach. He's more
Yeah,
pragmatic than Pep Guardiola. So
yeah,
that makes him a perfect, you could say, a good fit for Premier League. As
yeah.
Pep Guardiola,
Definitely.
was he's more pragmatic. Again, John Terry for me. Let's see what happens again. No Zidane, no
Very
Enrique.
nice.
That's your choice, but I'd take Enrique, but I wouldn't take a Zidane. Yeah, let me show you this, DJ. Look at this. After the game, Chelsea fans started again. Graham Potter again. A petition to sack Graham Potter, and
How
it
bad
has
it's got.
gathered 18,193
Wow.
have signed it. When we looked at it in the morning, it was 3,000 something. But the question I want to ask you is this: does that really does that will that move a needle? Would that even again move the owners one bit? Would they even pay attention to it? Does it make any sort of difference how the fans again the petition? I don't think it will. This is no politics. This is no again to me. This is no politics where you say after signing the petition you send it to your congressman or your senate again your senatorial again again whoever that is in it for the area where you
Yeah,
live, or that, or
yeah.
the governor, or the president. I don't think this makes any sort of difference. But let me get your thoughts. Do you think this makes any measure of difference in terms of Graham Potter's position as Chelsea manager?
Can I just say something, Richard? All my years of supporting Chelsea Football Club, and I'm going back to the '80s, as you know. I've been a fan since the John Hollins managing days of Chelsea, right? When we used to train, when we used to train, how about we had the most rubbishest training ground ever obviously before Cobham. I've been at
Mhm.
Chelsea. I've not one time I've seen managers that have actually had a petition actually written out for a manager to be sacked. I mean, I think if I go back now to recent years, we had it with Villas-Boas. There was no petition for him to go because Roman Abramovich made up our minds for us anyway, regardless of how the Chelsea fans would have said it or not. But he made that decision to let him go. You saw that with Di Matteo. You saw that with Rafa Benitez. Because I mean, you saw it with Jose Mourinho. People that eventually were the players that all managers that all went. I'm talking about the managers that got sacked, right? None of them had petitions against them. This is the first time I've ever known it, and maybe someone else who's been maybe supporting Chelsea longer than me, going back further, maybe would tell me no. DJ actually goes, there was another petition for another manager, but I've never known it to ever be. So look, whether it helps the situation, Kitchen, in answer to your question, personally, I don't think it will do anything. You know, this is
It
all.
wouldn't
This is
move. It
this is
wouldn't
the
move another. Go ahead.
no. This is for this is the fans saying, talking from their hearts of what they want. Now, if the only thing I will say is, in terms of the owners, apparently, from what I understand, is they listen a lot and they care about their reputations in terms
And more
of
importantly, it's
pleasing fans.
business. It's
Yeah,
business. If we don't make it into champions,
yeah,
into top four, it hits the pocketbook real
spot
hard.
on.
And you will not attract big name sponsors if we keep playing like crap. But go ahead.
Spot on. And you know what? And if they do listen, as some people have been saying, they do listen to the fans, you know, and what fans have to say, then they should know that this decision of Graham Potter is not the right decision, and they need to do something about it and quickly. But as we said, from looking at the way I'm looking at the pictures from coming from the training grounds that you see week in, you see Todd Boehly like this with his arms folded next to Graham Potter, smiling away, looking at the training. I'm thinking to myself, man, there's no way that they're going to sack this guy regardless. So they're obviously happy with what they're seeing. So what's it going to take? We lose to Leeds next week, Kachilla, right? What's it going to be? That's another rival game.
Do
That
you
is. And
just quickly, DJ, before you go further? Do you really think they're okay with that? What they're saying? I think that they're
I don't
just
think they
putting.
are.
They're just putting in,
I,
again, showing a public facade, because like we've
I,
established, it's going to be again an expensive decision to sign him,
yeah,
and that compounds what we need to do to balance the books, because we're on the edge right now,
yeah,
because it counts. If we fire him and pay him off, it compounds again how much work we need to do, or how much money we need to bring in to balance the books, not to get in trouble with the FFP rules. So
yeah.
I think they will never show again their concern. I think they'll be trying all they can to see if again their behavior can lessen the pressure on the man, to see if that will help him turn things around. And again, I don't think they'd show it, even if they tell him again in private, please again, try the best you can to turn this around. In public, they still show support because
Yeah.
they want him to succeed. If he doesn't succeed, he creates more problems for them. Uh, Again, I get it. People may think they're happy. I don't really think they're happy. But go ahead with what you were saying, brother.
No, listen, I don't think they are happy, but then they always say actions speak louder than words. And listen, I'm not one of those people that wants to ever see someone get sacked here, because I don't think that is nice. Especially you've got to think about people's families. You've got to think about people in the working life and all that kind. I don't want to see someone ever get sacked. It's not nice, right? However, you're looking at a football club situation, and you're looking at where we've come all these years. You know, before Boehly took over the football club, and you've got to ask yourself the question, you know, how much do they believe, and how much do they really care about this club enough? Do they want the success as much as Roman did when he was our owner? Yeah, because Roman cared so much. He'd even, you know, he wanted, if things were not working out, it was like that. You're gone. Manager was gone out the door to bring the next one in. I'm not saying I like that kind of model, but that model worked for us, and we were winning trophies. However, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I've always said, you know, and you know, I've gone on your streams countless of times, and other streams I've gone on, and I've said, I always want a manager long term who's not only going to be a long term manager for years to come, but it's also going to play with experienced players and start introducing the youth players from our youth ranks, and also, you know, players that have won things. So, you know, I wanted to have a bit of everything, you know, and the manager to stay long term in a project. But if you're going to do that kind of thing, you've also got to choose the right manager for this project. You've got to choose a proven winner at least who's gone and won things. Now, people, if we're basing ourselves on the Mikel Arteta project, then God help us, yeah, because this guy took how long before he started to actually get a winning team together? Which he's and let's be honest, it's not certain that they're going to win the Premiership this season. Arsenal, that's still not a certainty, despite them being wherever they are in the league, despite being how many points ahead in the Premiership. It may all fall flat on their faces. They may end up not winning it. But if this is the model that Todd Boehly wants to go in with this manager, then I'm sorry, we're going to be in. We've got a long road ahead of us, because, you know, it's going to take a while, and I don't think the players are believing in what Potter's trying to do at the moment. But they won't say it publicly, because obviously they've got to back their gaffer. But you can bet your bottom dollar bill there are some players in that team, or if not majority, are probably thinking, what exactly is this guy doing? We don't have a clue what's going on. You know, what is he doing with us? You know, that's how I probably would feel if I was a player playing in that team. I wouldn't want the manager out, because I don't believe in this player. I want, in terms of meaning player power, I don't believe in any of that stuff. However, players have still got to play under this manager, and there's certain things that he's not doing. Yeah, okay. Then you've got to ask the questions. You will ask the questions as players talking to each other. You're going to say, what exactly is this guy doing? Because we don't have a clue what he's doing. Right? So hopefully the owners are thinking the same thing. What exactly is Graham Potter doing? Now, we brought this guy in, okay, to do his things. You've given him all the money, and people cannot turn around and say, because I had this whole cycle, this whole thing was coming out from fans. Oh, but he hasn't been back with his players. God, he's been back with the players that he's got, man. Anyone seeing that Chelsea squad, mate? Yeah, any guy, any top manager would want to come and manage these players. So he's lucky he's got these players. He's been given the money. The money's been spent. It's up to him now to go and do it on the field, and he's clearly not doing it. So hopefully the manager, the owners will see this and they'll make the right decision. But like I said, I'm not crossing my fingers and saying it's going to happen, because I don't think somehow they're going to do it. That's just my honest take on that. You're on mute, Kachilla. You still there, bro?
Oh, sorry, I was talking, forgotten I was on mute. Again,
right.
if you're watching, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And you can also become a member. And once more, before I continue reading, I want to say thank you to Roro Elbow for becoming a member today. Thank you so much. If you can afford it, I'd really appreciate it. And Roro Elbow here, again, Jose Mourinho, Thomas Tuchel, or even Poch will win the league with these same set of players. This has nothing to do, again, with Chelsea's rep for hiring and firing. This is one case where a sacking will be justified if it happens. Lusula here says again, I don't know if I am the only one who observed it, but James is not happy with the back four. I wouldn't say he's not happy. Again, the approach, again, he can actually, he just has to do more running. If we played with a back three, the situation could have been worse, honestly, because Spurs are well drilled to play with that, again, with that structure. But James is not happy with the back four. I suggest Chelsea to go to a back three. Anyway, Chelsea forwards are not scoring. Quite a lot, again, is the issue. If you go to a back three, it creates more problem. Then you have to find a way to accommodate the wingers we have, one of which we paid 100 million pounds plus 100 million pounds plus. Plus, that means you need to play him as an 8 to accommodate him, if that makes sense. Otherwise, you'll play in a way, again, that the roles will be overlapping and players will get even more confused. Potter is a mid-table coach again, so now we become a mid-table team. Now we just have to hire a manager with more pedigree. Maybe that will solve the problem. We don't know, but I don't think Potter is the man until proven otherwise. Potter was average with Brighton. Look again, De Zerbi has improved Brighton. The day Potter is sacked and Boehly stops being arrogant and naive, Chelsea will return as a huge world club again. Here's the thing: I don't think it's about arrogance. It's about how expensive it will be. Let me explain that again. It's about how expensive. Again, firing Potter compounds the work we have to do, or how much money we need to bring in to balance the books, to not get into trouble with FFP, if that makes sense. Or some German coach. Again, we change a lot of measures because we don't have enough world class players. Again, I don't argue against that. Again, Potter is the worst manager in Chelsea's history. The numbers say the same, so I'm not going to argue against that. Let that sink in. He will never be our level. Yeah, again, some strong argument. We cannot make a one pass on the game up. Yep, we couldn't. Funny enough, after all those losses and draws, Chelsea's position on the league table has not changed. Yeah, I think we're lucky because we're lucky that a lot of teams, again, are losing games too because it could have been worse right now. Assuming these losses and draws leads again to a decline on the table, will the owners sack him? There's no telling what they do. There's really not telling what the owners want to do. He makes money in this couple of months. What can I make again in 10? What I cannot make in 10 years? Yep. And again, I've taken read this one. Again, this is one case where again I agree. If they sack Potter right now, there are multitude of reasons that will justify that reasoning if it happens. But I don't think it happens. If it happens, I'll take it. Then if he stays and proves me wrong for saying he's not the man, good. There's a first for everything. You never know. Lala says, Cholo Simeone will be free in June. You could get him. Are you talking about Diego Simeone? Is that who you're calling Cholo Simeone?
No,
I don't want him. I don't, because if he's coming, which means Felix will be going the other way. If Felix is running away from him, if that makes sense, Lala, please don't joke. He's gonna die. Don't die. Stay strong, brother. No time. Again, we don't want Simeone, please. Again, good evening, my Chelsea family. Good, Chadley Kibans. Chadley Kibans, big up, bro. Wagwan, man. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for joining the show. Why, Eugene? You're a Madrid fan, as far as I know. I think he admires Madrid quite a lot. And my friend Lolo, big up to you. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much to finding the time to join the show. And Lolo, I remember you asking me if we created a membership. We'll now have a membership that costs $2.99. Which gives you certain privilege if you can afford it. Again, would appreciate it if you can join. Even if you don't join, no problem. We're still family here, and we'll still try the best we can to get your contributions in the chat. Why am I a Madrid fan? Because she always referenced Madrid. That's why Lola is saying that. Kachila, why are you worried about FFP when we might be? Why we might get relegated? I'm concerned in so many levels. Okay, I'm going to go to this. I don't think that it's warranted to respond that way. Potter and Boehly have to go. Unfortunately, Boehly isn't going anywhere. I think he's a major shareholder. I don't know the construct of of how they own the club, but yeah, he's not going anywhere. And this here says again, I have a feeling we will wake up to good news tomorrow here. I don't think so, but if it happens, I will take it. Just kidding, Eugene. It's ridiculous that Potter keeps using some players again who won't be there next season, and maybe they don't care what result Chelsea gets. I think that makes sense. That makes sense. What do you think, DJ? Do you think because it doesn't make any sort of sense to use Ziyech? If you even see his behavior today, it doesn't look like he's 100%.
No, listen, Kachila, that's a very, very good point made by Logan there. Big up to him, by the way. It's so true. I don't understand the Ziyech using Ziyech for what I don't know. Are they trying to hope they'll get a good price for him at the end of the season? I don't know, but I don't know if it's because he feels he owes him over the PSG situation. I don't know. But listen, if he's doing favours for players over things like that, then we are in trouble, mate. We are in deep, deep trouble because if you don't go and choose a player because he didn't get his move to PSG, so you're now got to feel you have to make it up to him and play him in this team. Now you've got players that you've bought in Madueke, and you've got obviously Mudryk here. Okay, Mudryk might not be able to play on that right side, but you've got Madueke or Noni as he's known to play on that right side. Why not?
And he would have been more effective.
100% he would have been. 100%, and he would not certainly got into any scrap heaps with Tottenham with the way Ziyech did. Now, listen, I'm not against players actually having scrap heaps with the rival teams because That just tells you how much they care and how much the passion they've got for the team. But with Ziyech's situation, Ziyech, as we all know, looking at his body language every time he plays Chelsea, he never plays with a smile on his face. He always seems to have this mood about him whenever he's on the pitch. Maybe that's the way he likes to play the game. He shows that serious because he's showing to everyone, I'm actually being serious. But, seeing him get into arms today with the Spurs players, I actually quite enjoyed that. I did. I'll have to say, because I thought to myself, it's actually nice to see someone on the pitch actually showing the passion the way he did today. And the right decision was made in the end, because that was certainly not a sending off. And I'm glad VAR took common sense and decided to turn it around. But I will still say one thing on Ziyech. Yeah, look, as much as I want to see this guy do well at Chelsea, you clearly can see he doesn't want to be there. His body language says it all. And why is Potter playing him? Again, that's a question that Graham Potter can only answer. Yeah, can only answer. It's not something we know, but it seems to me he's doing it as a favour to Ziyech. So I don't know.
It seems more like it, because again, for the first, even after the first 15, 20 minutes, it was clear Ziyech was ineffective and they were targeting him. Because probably Conte, again, as much as I hate his approach to football, he's good tactically. He probably told them, if Ziyech starts, you have to stop him, because he's the guy that's capable of finding that pass to whoever that is on the other end or wherever that person is. And it was effective. Then the change would have been to bring in Madueke, who's good at driving with the ball, and he would have made a huge difference.
Definitely.
But again, was he even on the bench? I don't remember if Madueke was on the bench.
He wasn't. He was on the bench.
The weekend, he wasn't. But yeah, he would have made a difference. And Jesse said again, Boehly is probably watching movie Moneyball and thinking that this will turn around. I think his face when he was shown again, I think he looked worried. Because it's become clear wherever you are, even if you go on Twitter, even Potter's biggest supporters are beginning to question what he does, the time he makes the changes and who he brings in and those he takes up. Again, it just doesn't make any sort of sense. Again, I am the most objective Chelsea fan. Again, the most objective, since I am not the Chelsea fan. I agree with you, Lala, and big up to you, my brother. I only need again to bring Brad Pitt in this series. And then it becomes a movie. Potter sacking does not affect FFP. If the money they pay him does count as an expenditure from the club, it doesn't. You think? Okay, maybe I don't know. I could be wrong. Jonah Hill and Brad Pitt Moneyball. Again, I love Jonah Hill, by the way. But that's by the way. We'll move on. Ted Lasso. Let's move on. Cabo 14 OD. We go into games without any game plan on how to approach the game. We never do any comebacks in games anymore, and we don't score counter-attacking goals. This is just excellent point. It just seems as if once we go down, one goal down, all the players suck. They run out of idea, and our manager makes changes, and it is the wrong changes. Again, but that's by the way, again, in Chelsea's recent history, only two coaches have shown a strong passion for the club. Again, for the club, backed by competency. Jose Mourinho, Thomas Tuchel, Graham Potter has no passion for the team. Again, it's not about the payoff, but the passion for the club. Again, the passion go a long way. As much as I've looked beyond his behavior, again on the touchline, his touchline antics, if that's what you prefer, I still say again, I don't care. I care less about those things. But yeah, again, passion does. It doesn't look like, again, I don't sense any measure of passion from him, really. I think it has gotten to him so much that maybe he needs a break from the job, honestly, which you know what I mean by that. He needs, again, to go look for a job somewhere else. Maybe, again, that's what what we say the situation for us and him. And look at he's lost a lot of weight, actually, if you're paying attention to that. It's getting to him. I'm not sure if it's, again, hopefully he's okay mentally. I'm being honest here, because if you're not in a good mental state, you're not going to ever coach this team to do any better. You're not. It's as simple as that, because the moment you're not in a good mental state, you become, again, intellectually impaired, which is natural until you recover from that, if that makes sense. The passion and fight, again, that we had again in our team is fading. It's gone entirely. FFP is for buying players only. Okay, if that makes sense. I thought it counts again the club's total expenditure, not just for players. I didn't know that was the case. because they count. I thought they count your expenditure, how much you bring in, and all that. So I'm not sure. So yeah, if that's the case, then good. DJ, I'm gonna bring you back
Yeah,
onto this one here, which
yeah,
says again, we go into
yeah,
games without any game plan. You can argue that because the players seem confused, and that
yeah,
may well be the case. Or the case could be maybe they don't respect the manager well enough that they don't adhere to his again you could say suggestions or again for the way to approach the game, or they don't adhere to his tactics or whatever. Your thoughts again? This comment makes sense to me. We never
yeah,
do any comebacks. That's another one which you could
yeah,
say we don't have strong mentality to say
yeah.
okay, we're one down, but we can still equalize and still win the game. We don't see that. But you go ahead, your thoughts.
No, listen, that's a very good point there by Cab 14 OD. He's spot on. I mean, I go into games now and I watch them and I think where are the goals going to come from? Because let's be honest, you got a hybrid. I call him a hybrid nine, which is what Kai Havertz is, which means you're playing playing a guy who's a false nine and then attacking midfielder. All right, so that's the goals are not going to come from him. Okay, and then you've also then you've got to ask yourself who's the next person that's going. You got Joao Felix who scored that one goal. That was the only goal we scored against Fulham, wasn't it? When we drew or was it West Ham? Sorry, against West Ham. That was our only goal we scored, Kachilla. And after that, we're not scoring goals. Our last away win was against Aston Villa, right? That was our last away win. Okay. Since then, goals have dried up. We don't seem to. Every time we go 1-0 down, the old Chelsea of old would find a way of getting back into the game and then going on to winning the game. The mental, like I said, it's the mentality thing. If the players are not believing in what's going on, then the questions have to be asked again. It goes back to the coach again. What do we? I mean, I know the coach can't go on. Listen, no, you can't go and put the coach on a pitch and say to him, go and play striker, go and play midfielder, go and play defender, go and play wing back, go and play goalkeeper. He picks the team to go and do a job out there. That I give him part of that, because part of the problem is not just Graham Potter. Some of the players, we said it already. We said some of the players in that team also have to look at themselves as well, because you expect goals to come from the players that have been picked, like your Kai Havertz, your Joao Felixes, and players like that, your Ziyiches and like that. But at the moment, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, we don't seem to be getting any. Every time we get to that final, we get to that final, so to score a goal, there's either shots being going wide, or they don't bother to shoot, or they play the ball back again. So you're thinking, where is the goals going to come from when they go offside? So you're thinking to yourself, what is going on with in terms of that? And to be honest with you, that's now every time I go into a game now, I'm always thinking to myself now, I don't always back my team to win, but I'm going to say I always then say the least I hope then is at least a draw, because I can't see who's winning it, because I don't know where the goals are going to come from. Do you get me, Kachilla?
I'm with you.
So in terms of that, you then have to say, what do we do? What is it? Do you change the formation? Yeah, he changes the formation. You're getting still nothing out of it. So again, it comes down to players being picked and the manager picking these players, and whatever players he goes and puts out there. Okay, this is why I'm saying the players all have a fault for it, is because he's tried Petra Fofana there, he's tried Kai Havertz there, Aubameyang's come there when he's needed, but we seem to still find ourselves in this position. So again, in terms I have to ask, is it all on the manager? Sometimes I have to say it's not always on the manager, but
No, not always. Yeah.
But you have to then also look at your manager and say to your manager, he has to also be the kind of guy who has to bark these instructions out of what he wants them to do. And I don't see enough of that from him. So the players are more or less playing within their strides. But when they get to the end of it, when they get to the goal, we see no results. So I don't know. I mean, would they do that under Thomas Tuchel? You ask yourself. Would they do it under Pep Guardiola? No, I think they'll find a way of actually scoring a goal. Or they'll find a way of scoring a goal. But under this manager, mate, I just think there's just no confidence. There's just no confidence in their style of play at the moment. As you said, usually me, which I'm a very optimistic, confident Chelsea fan, but the way we've been playing of late in the last couple of games, I look at it and I'm thinking, where is our goals going to come from? Sam Allardyce. Oh, God. Bobby Fairview, big up to you. Oh my God! You know what? At this moment in time, Kachilla, I will take Sam Allardyce, because I think you can get a tune out of these players. Honestly, that's how bad it's got, bro. That's how bad it's got.
He will
Seriously.
keep us off because he has again. I think he's
Honestly.
underrated.
And that
At
same
least,
company,
he can motivate players to do better. And if he
yeah,
has a squad like Chelsea, I think he honestly, jokes aside, I think Allardyce will
yeah,
do better with this crop of squad than Graham Potter. Jokes aside,
God,
really, I
but that,
strongly believe he can.
but
That's
keep
by
us
the way,
up.
again, Sam Allardyce again will keep us up again. As much as that is funny, I I think it is the truth. I think he can do that for us. The walking on the pitch, you cannot win a game without running on the field. Without again putting in the shift. A properly functioning club has been gutted by people who do not know what they are doing. That's always your argument. The Sula Chelsea mentality has to change. Abramovich era is over, and now we should accept even mediocrity.
God.
Porter will not be sacked again. In America, fans don't influence board's decision. Yeah, but again, like I said, the situation is a bit different here. I think when it hits their pocketbook, then they'll understand we should be doing better. Again, if that makes any sort of sense. But let's see, what else we have here? Players are putting effort, but they are trying individually. It's not a collective effort. I get the argument there. There's no cohesion as a team. Again, Stalin, Felix were making runs and then again ended up losing ball. Stalin runs behind again defenders, but alone. Yep, again on occasions he made good runs and wasn't found. That's the truth. It took like too many changes and formations for each game, and within each game again, it's making it even more. He's making it even more difficult. Titso. So it's again. Do you guys still believe in Mudrik? Yep, strongly, strongly.
He's
He came on, and on that 3 minutes, he put in three excellent crosses into the box. Again, we're talking about a guy that hasn't played football for a while due to the crisis in this country. And again, he needs time. I think he'll be okay. I still do believe in him strongly. The only man on earth who can fix the Chelsea issue is Antonio Conte when he can, but I don't think he comes back to Chelsea again. Ziyech was the only fighter from what I've seen. Really? Because he fought. Literally, he fought somebody. Maybe if you're seeing it from that perspective, I disagree with you strongly, Kimso.
totally disagree on that one.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
disagree
Yeah.
with you, even though I love you, but I don't agree with that one. I believe that Mudrik, again, can be first joker from off the bench. And also, again, we need a real good reinforcement like Coleman or Leroy Sané. Sané will be a good signing for us. Or Potter PR incoming. Let's see what happens tomorrow. I cannot see, again, a team that we can beat with this season as we really are clueless tactically and lacks the confidence again through which comes again from Potter, lack of tactical awareness. Tony Brooks, I couldn't agree more with you. And people, if you're watching, if you haven't taken a second, drop a like on the stream. We are at 36 likes right now. And if you want to join the panel, the link again to the panel is pinned at the very top. If I see anybody, I will give my bro a break. Again, even though he was saying no, 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 don't worry, Kuchula, I'm okay. Again, he's a human being, and it's again he goes to work the next day. So again, if you haven't liked the stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and bro, anytime if you want to leave, that's fine. I can go solo. Luis Enrique in, I'll take him. Honestly, I will take him. Where is Roger? Probably sleeping. Again, let's see what else we have here. Again, I thought Felix was so decent, but actually, I understand why Atletico let him go. No, I wouldn't go to that length. Here's the thing about the team. Overall, they all at one point once here's what I've sensed about this particular team or crop of players, if you prefer. Once again things start going the wrong direction, they all look confused, especially after we conceded. They all looked confused. Everybody started trying too much and were making mistakes like again schoolboys. What happened with our pressing at the front? We actually did better in terms of pressing today. It was worse against Fulham. Today, at least we pressed as a unit to beat to a certain measure. Tuchel, again, we constantly press the opposition early so they commit mistakes to our advantage. Now we don't do that quite well. Maybe Allegri. Nope, I don't want Allegri either. Fabrizio Romano already informed today after game that agents of various managers are calling CFC to check opening, but but CFC again have reiterated belief in Potter. The truth remains they probably again have a list of alternatives in mind should they decide to buy him. Even now, I know they're having a series of meetings. This is not look, where we're at the table is not a joke, and I believe me, they're taking it seriously. Honestly, they're taking it seriously. Again, you have to be again a PlayStation fan to be calling for us to buy more attacking players. Possibly Enrique on fleek. I like Enrique, more pragmatic than Pep Guardiola. He's a tiki-taka manager, but more pragmatic. Chelsea, dumb. Wow. Vlahovic is not good. Again, it's like again, I don't know him to know whether he fits the way Potter play. But maybe what Potter needs to do is to start playing with traditional number 9. Maybe that will make a difference for him. So DJ, look at our next fixtures.
Yeah,
It is Leeds
yeah,
United, and like
yeah.
Bobby Fairview said in the chat, they have again a new manager who
Mhm.
people are saying he's done quite well, and again new manager bounce still in effect. Plus again players they will play their hearts out. Plus it's at home and will be awful at home of late. And the next game is Borussia Dortmund. Again, I never say never. You could say maybe they want to wait and see what happens when we play Borussia Dortmund. I don't know what they're thinking. We have Leicester City. We usually struggle to play against them. We have Everton, very pragmatic. You will know, again, Sondage, you know how his teams play. It's not
Yeah.
going to be easy. Again, Aston Villa, they're well organized. Liverpool, we haven't again beaten them in a while. Your thoughts again? Do you see us winning any of these games? And before you say something, I want to say what I said in the morning when we were looking at the insight again and
Mm.
head to head against Tottenham. They haven't actually beaten us for like a million years. But I said the problem with Chelsea is again when a team, for instance, again have lost again 10 games, and if they lose to us, it will be 11 games. That's when again they end up with beating us, and
Yeah.
vice versa. Again, you get my point now. In
I
other
do.
words, Charity FC. For your
Correct.
thoughts again, and if you're in the chat, I want to get your opinion. If you think we can win any of these games, and if you want to come onto the panel and express yourself, the link is pinned at the very top. And Kim, so maybe you want to give it a try this time. But as long as you're on camera, I will bring you in. The reason why the Blue Morning Show, we have a group, so that's why I'm using the two-way option for the Blue Morning Show. So DJ, you go ahead.
Yeah, listen, Kachila, I said it already, mate. For me, Leeds. I mean, Leeds is everyone. I think everyone would know, and everyone that's not known would know the Leeds, the rivalry with Leeds United. It goes back years, and if they were to turn up at Stamford Bridge and do us over, it'll be the double for them this season over us. And that for me in itself should be, if not now, put 100% out, because that's another that is a game that we cannot afford to lose for all those reasons. For the fact that where we are on the table, and more to the fact of the rivalry between the two clubs, they, as we call them, dirty Leeds. Yeah, that's exactly what they're called. And they made it tough for us in the first game when they beat us. They're going to make it tough again for us. They've got Javier Gracia now as their new manager. this
Mhm.
guy's not an idiot. He's a good manager. He done pretty well with Watford for what he did with them. He's going to think he's going to come up to he's going to come to Chelsea and think, look, in bad form. They're going through some tough times at the moment. Now's the time to go and do Chelsea over. And while Graham Potter is our manager for this game, I can only see this game going one way, and that'll be a Leeds win. And like I said, if we want to salvage anything this season, and I think the Champions League is only the trophy that we can salvage this season, then Graham Potter for sure cannot be the guy in charge of this. It has to be another elite, it has to be another manager. And as I said, I know many don't want him, and I know there are some. Kimzo has said it in the comment section, big up to me, said Luis Enrique. I would say him for that. He's the kind of guy we need to bring in for the remaining of these games, because with this guy in charge, our season, once we go at the Champions League, Chile, that's our season done. We're finished. What are we fighting for? We're fighting for to stay in the league. We're fighting to stay in the league. That for me is tough in itself as a child. Knowing even it's got as far as that, and these owners are just sitting back and letting this all happen, it's annoying me even more. So I really, really hope, you know, um, we can, what do you call it, this
We
week we'll
kicked him,
salvage it.
so Kim,
Was
so I'm
it
sorry to hear that, brother.
it's like me with God. Oh, things are bro.
Go ahead, DJ.
Oh,
Sorry for cutting you
so
off.
No, it's all right. But like I said, no, look, we need to start. We need to let. As I said, all these fixtures. I'll be honest with you, Kuchela. As much as I go into games and say, it's a Chelsea win, I'm going to go into these games saying draw, 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 draw now. Okay, because that's how things have gone for me now. I'm not even going to say a win anymore because that's how bad it's become. So I've got to see something.
Just quickly, if you still have time, DJ. With
No, I've got
regards
time.
to this, okay. With regards to this, we'll still go back again, looking at the you can say the our schedule again. You can say the games we have again to play. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games we looked at. It's not looking good, really. Your thoughts
No.
on this? Do you think, for instance, do you think this is true that no elite manager will take our job right now?
Well, we can still get an elite manager, and the only reason why we can get an elite manager now, Kuchel, is because we're still in the Champions League, and while we're still in that tournament, we can get one in now. We get rid of, we say, for example, God will. I'm saying God wills it. Saying tomorrow we end up sacking Potter tomorrow, and then we've been then in the next 2 hours or 3 hours, it's announced that Luis Enrique is our new manager. I, for one, think he'll get a kick out of these players, and he'll make sure we can go all the way. And I think he'll get them ready for the Dortmund game. We'll be more prepared, I think, for these games than we are currently now. So if we want to salvage I keep saying it, if we want to salvage anything of our season this year, if there's any hope of salvaging it here, we need to go with an elite manager now. And Enrique can become available, and he's available because at the moment he's free. He's got no job at the moment, and always people are going, oh well, Pochettino. I don't want Pochettino at Chelsea, and that's because of his Tottenham connections. Yeah, okay. I'd rather have this guy because this guy's done things with Barcelona. He's won trophies with him. Okay, he more or less plays the same way as Pep Guardiola does. As I said, he's maybe a little bit more. He probably
He's
does a little
more
bit more
pragmatic.
defensive. Yeah. So he'll do a bit of both, and that's the kind of manager we need at the moment in his setup at the moment. Someone who likes to do a bit of both, and he'll deliver that. He will deliver that.
Yeah, well,
Personally.
it took me time. I had to do my research and pay attention
Yeah,
to him. I didn't want him, but Zidane is
yeah,
a huge no for me until he proves himself somewhere
yeah.
else, not just Real Madrid again with the crop of players he had at that point. So, this again, bring you back to this. Do you think we're capable
Yes.
of winning any of these games?
As I said, Kachilla, not with Graham Potter as our manager. No, I've got no confidence with Graham Potter as our manager to win these games, even at Stamford Bridge. And I'm going to be going to a lot of these games, being a season ticket holder. I'll be going to all these games, especially the home games, and I'm just probably going to end up walking out the game being disappointed. Because at the moment, I'm usually, as know me for a long, long, long time, Kachilla. I've always been confident about my club, regardless of whoever the manager is. But the way things have gone this season with us, confidence has just completely gone down. And and at the moment, I can't see us getting a win. I can't see us getting a win in anything at the moment, Kachilla. Honestly, I can't. Not with Graham Potter as our manager. I'm sorry, I can't see it. Maybe draws, but not wins. Because every time we go a goal down, the players' heads drop, and that's it. Once the players' heads drop, I don't think there's enough animation on the bench coming from the manager to say, "Come on, guys, we can do this." Do the changes when he needs to do the changes. Action. I want to see things, but I don't see that with this guy. And it's disappointing seeing that because I do like Potter. I think he can be a really good manager. I really do, but I don't think he can do it with Chelsea. Not with Chelsea. Not at this moment in time. For me.
Yeah, again, indeed, I don't think it's the man. We'll round up the chat. If you have any questions, please shoot it. Or if you join the panel, we still have a few more minutes so that I can actually my brother very tired. I said Brighton destroyed as somebody suggested again him to us and again because they're not football again they knew nothing about football. They don't know that much about football before they join us. Yeah, somebody probably I don't know. This is again nonsense. Again, you don't want Pochettino because Tottenham, bro. Again, you acting like a kid. You have to respond like
No, it's
that.
not that.
Let people
No, it's cool.
let
It's cool.
people
It's entitled.
present
It's cool.
their argument. Present yours. You don't have to say yeah, you don't have to tell somebody they're acting like a kid because they told you what they like and what they don't like. I don't think it's okay. I just wonder what we never do well in the second half. Again, it has always been good first half, bad second half. Yeah, again, we couldn't. We could beat Liverpool again and others. Um, yeah, I think it's a good argument because by default, playing Liverpool is usually easy because they will always play a high line. The chances we get because one thing about Liverpool, if you get your chances, you better put them away because chances are if you get this 3 goals, they're capable of scoring 8 if they can if you cannot defend well. I think again what probably people will think that's the most difficult. That game against probably the one I think we're probably gonna end up gonna points from this. But let's see. You never know. We haven't played the matches, but we're just speculating based on what we've seen. If you're in the chat, if you have any questions, please do let us know. You'll be kind of rounded up in the feed so that I can give my feedback to for fit sleep to come against support.
Cool.
So I think I have a solution. Potter is actually an interim manager, and as you know, an interim manager cannot be sacked. So I am confused. So elaborate. So what do you think happens next? That's what I want to get from you. Again, Tottenham will never have a hero like Pochettino. I think it was a mistake letting him go. But let's see what again. But right now, let's see how well they begin because they haven't. I don't think they've surpassed his record in terms of taking them to the Champions League final. And at one point, he nearly won the Premier League. So I think he's underrated, really. Plus, they don't spend much on players, so he's good at using what he has to the maximum, if that makes sense. But Potter's record at Brighton wasn't even good, even better than his record at Chelsea right now, because we've lost one more game, so it got worse. Again, if anybody in the chat, if you have any questions, if not, we're gonna call it a day soon. DJ, anything else you want to talk about?
No, I just want to answer Eugene. Is it Totoy's comment on what I said? Naughty on what I said about Potter. Listen, I've got nothing. Sorry about Poch. I've got nothing against Pochettino. Do I think he's the right guy to come and to get Chelsea out of this situation? I personally don't think he is. That's just my honest opinion on it. It's not that I don't rate him as a manager. I just want to make that straight. It's not. I did say the Tottenham connection. Maybe that was wrong of me to maybe say that, but I just personally
don't think it's wrong. It's a Chelsea thing.
I just don't think he's the kind of guy that we need now at this moment in time to come in and do something because, he's underrated. I give him that much. He almost won the Premiership and he almost won the Champions League. Yeah, but again, you could say he's more. I mean, the difference between him and Graham Potter, you could basically say is Potter. Potter did things. He won things in Norway or wherever he was managing, right? But he came to Brighton and he did things. But what did he do at Brighton? He did nothing at Brighton. Just manage a team like Brighton, and we're not at that situation where we should be, where he should be coming into a club like Chelsea and showing and managing us because he's done pretty well at Brighton, whatever it might be. Now I'm not saying Poch is a bad man because I think Poch is actually a better manager than Potter. But I just don't think is he the right guy to come in now as the caretaker manager. From what I understand, I've heard that he's turned down the Chelsea job in order to maybe go back to Tottenham. How true that is, I don't know. But if he was to come in, I won't complain either. I won't moan. I'll back him regardless. But if you were to ask me to choose between him and Luis Enrique, I would say Luis Enrique any day of the week. Any day of the week over him.
Yeah, but again, I agree with you. Again, if we decide to go for a manager, I think we should look beyond him. As much as I think he's underrated, I think we can do better than him, if that makes sense. Let me see anything else to address here so we can call it again. Then it's not difference between with Enrique. Also, again, we don't have enough players for Enrique's style.
I don't know about that.
I know it's not just a tiki-taka, but we still don't have a players again for Enrique. DJ, what do you think about that? Do you think that's the truth? I think we do have enough. Go ahead.
I think he'll do better. I think he'll get a tune out of these players than what Potter's doing. And I personally think we do have the players because I think if you look at the plays that he had, okay, I'm not going to even. I mean, comparison to Barcelona's because obviously they were world stars, right? But I still think he's got enough of it. I think you'll get a better tune out of these players that we've got now at the football club than what Graham Potter's doing now. So I don't know why you'd say he doesn't have the players to do that. I think he has got the players to do that, as far as I'm concerned.
Would you say really we have players good enough to comfortably play out from the back? That's a start.
Well,
on the left hand side, not Benchua, Korea maybe. On the right hand side, Reece James is capable of doing that.
Yes.
Then to the midfield, I'm not. Here's the thing: as much as I like Enzo, he's not Jorginho. Hate or love Jorginho,
no,
he's different
not.
in terms of helping the team play out from the back. He's different. Enzo, that's how you see it. I think this coming from usually we do struggle to keep the ball when open, they press us aggressively. Yeah, and that's the truth. Kovacic fits in because he can beat. Kovacic can progress the ball. He's the only player actually in that midfield area capable of progressing the ball, no matter how open or presses or whether you have two, 3 players on him. But go ahead, you were saying something, DJ.
No, it's just reading the comments. No, I was just saying on what Eugene is saying. I mean, I personally think for me, look, we've got. You look at that midfield. You talked about Kovacic. You talked about Enzo, right? You've also got players like you've got players like N'Golo Kante. You've got players like Zakarian. You've got players like Chukwuemeka if he's given a chance. You've got these players there that for me I think can do. How Luis Enrique would want to play. And I think all it is you need, as I said, all it is you just need to give these players the right platform to go and do that. And I think at the moment, they're not getting that kind of thing because I think you find a lot of these players that we've got, I reckon this team could, with a better manager, we can go and win 2-3, 4, 3-0, 2-3-0 because the only people will say we don't have a recognised striker. We do have a recognised striker, but we don't play him. And that's Aubameyang. Now, I think if Luis Enrique is going to come, he'll probably end up playing Aubameyang more as a forward player up front, or he'll even give Detro Fofana a chance in that front line and maybe drop Havertz back. I don't know. But for me to say we don't think we've got the players to do that, I think we can do that. As far as I'm with Luis Enrique, because I think I probably would say he would do a better job and get a better tune out of these players than what Graham Potter's doing at the moment. And we're still in the Champions League, and I still think. That's where you'll see more of Luis Enrique's skill set is in the Champions League. And I think these players are suited for the Champions League in terms of that.
Yeah, I think at least we do well in the Champions League. But this argument makes sense. Maybe we need a few more players, 1, 2, or even 2, 3 players would be okay. And Luis Enrique would love to watch a player like Jorginho, really. Again, but unfortunately he's gone. My brother, Coach, again, big up the vibe. Nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. I see you asked me the name of the song in the morning, and by that time I had ended the show again already. And it's difficult because I renamed it when I downloaded it. Maybe I have to use my phone to find out who the artist is, and I'll find out. How are you feeling about today? Not okay. Unfortunately for me, I'm a content creator, but every day. When Chelsea plays that badly, I'm usually not myself, and I'm usually to my behavior because sometimes I can take it out to someone else within the family without even knowing what's going on. But I usually say, "Oh wait, what am I doing here?" I'm not talking to Chelsea players. That is so that anger in me. I usually can talk to somebody again in a harsh manner. Then just pay attention to myself doing that. And it's all because Chelsea lost the game. That's how much I love the club. Unfortunately, but that's not okay to be taking it out on people. And DJ, anytime if you want to leave, bro, again, feel free. I appreciate you finding time to join. I cannot thank you enough. No one again in the middle. We have just two Enzo and Kovacic. And Kovacic again is for question. Kovacic probably, I think, will do well under Enrique. The question is, will he be creative enough in terms of creating chances? I don't know. I compare Enrique with Pochettino. I think I'll take Enrique anytime, any day than Pochettino. I think they're different. Here's the thing, but let's not get there because we don't know what's going to happen. Enrique will play with the first nine most likely, because that's what they do. I doubt if Chukwuemeka. I doubt in Chukwuemeka. I don't see him more than again a mid-table team in future. He's for me something between nothing. Here's to me. I think he's a good player. The little I've seen is enough for me to say he's a good player. The only question I have is I'm not sure where he fits in that team. I'm not sure where he fits in that team. Again, that's all I can say for now. Let us forget this season and hope that CFC will not be relegated. Next season, CFC has Nkunku, Gusto, some talent, two more talents, excellent talents there. And maybe with more prolific players, the Chelsea owners are saying, maybe by the time we get those two players and sign one or two more players, maybe Graham Potter will start cooking. I hope that's not the case. The more we leave this, the more dangerous it gets. It's as simple as that. You can imagine Chelsea Football Club were 10 points away from being in a relegation battle and 10 points away from being, again, in a top four battle. Again, the progress is too slow. Have you seen any? You let me know. Potter is holding us back in his selection are questionable. Yep, again, after today, I personally would play Zakaria with Ruben. Zakaria looked like as if he should have started. I think he should have started over Ruben. Ruben is not a deep line midfielder. People are they're just playing him there because again he's physical, more physical, and can deal with the physicality of the opponent. But other than that, it's not his thing really. Again, I preferred him playing as a wing back, where he's tasked with overloading the midfield and the attacking area. He's done well there. But unfortunately, we'll find ourselves in this situation. I also hate Enrique because he has a problem with counter-attack. I want to see machines on the field. Now I get why you don't like him. Counter-attack, again, the key point in modern football. Pep does it. Again, it's just a way of countering your opposition's attack. The opposition is at you, and when you get a chance, again, you counter with a blistering speed. Take advantage of them being in your area and find the goal. But again, that's, by the way, Chelsea, again, at any cost, should buy a very offensive midfielder. I think we need one. We need an attacking midfielder. I prefer Tinubu as president of Manchester than Boehly. He has turned Chelsea into a town hall. And by the way, how's the election going? I think I need to call my people over there to find out about the result. I have a certain candidate I want to win. Again, if Silva's injury is serious, again, we are in deep trouble. But again, it looked not that serious. Maybe he recovers. If he is, then we're in serious trouble because he's capable of influencing the game from the back. Chukwuemeka replaced Felix Mount again in the 10th position. Did I miss something? Did I miss the fact that he played? Was I that furious that I didn't even pay attention who came on for who?
Chukwuemeka come on in that game? I don't know. Did he even come on? Who were the ones that came on? I know. Did Felix? Who came on for Chukwuemeka?
On the bench, we have Marcus Bertolini, we have Benoit Badeshile, Conor Gallagher, Noni Madueke. Let me just see everybody we had there. We had Noni Madueke, we have America Bami and Mihailo Modric, Mason Mount, Dennis Zakaria. No, he wasn't even on the bench.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought Mason. Who came on for the last two changes they did was It was I know it was Mudrich came on, Aubameyang came on, Mount and Zakaria came on.
Again, Dennis Zakaria replaced Loftus-Cheek, Mason Mount replaced Ziyech. Again, Mihailo Modric replaced Joao. Felix, 83rd minute. To America Bami replaced Raheem Sterling. That's a bit too late, really. I'm not sure what he did there. Enrique don't know how to play without ball. Trust me. That again, maybe I need to pay attention even more. Choma Joseph, why can't the coach just pick the players that truly wants to play for him? I don't know. Maybe he's getting the wrong impression. Does it mean he can, if we sign a player at 120 million, he cannot be substituted? Enzo was lost today, but the coach couldn't see that. That shows how clearly, again, he was lost at one point. He was effective when the game started, but at one point he was lost and should have left the pitch. Hakim Ziyech shouldn't have lasted 20 minutes. Again, replaces. Okay, not replace. In the future. Okay, it makes sense. Nelson Ene, Potter out is undoubtful. However, there's no one out there. Enrique is probably worse than GP. Wow.
Wow. Damn, that is a hard one.
Wow. Best scenario for us is again is an interim coach till the end of the season. And do you have any person in mind? DJ, remember please again if you want to leave any
No,
time,
I'm
you
good.
can
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm good. I'm good. No, who you asking me? Who is anyone who can come in place for? Ugh. Um. Well, I'm just looking about who's available now. That can come in and do a role now. I mean, as I keep talking about our Champions League and what that's probably what we've got left to probably face if we want to go and if we want to play in Europe next season. I know it's a tough one. So we're not gonna we're gonna win it because of the way we're playing at the moment. We're not gonna win it. But I just think under another manager as guidance, I think we could probably be doing better. Now, you ask what other managers are out there. I mean, who can you? I said Enrique. I said Pochettino's the other one who's out there as well. You've also got Zidane, but no one wants any of those. Then you've got to look at other than. I don't think somehow Chelsea. I mean, Lampard is available. So could we bring Frank Lampard back? I mean, is that something people would suggest to do? John Terry and Joe Cole and Frank
I
Lampard.
don't think he can fix this.
No. I mean, what? Then I wouldn't be surprised if someone comes up with Steven Gerrard. I mean, there's so many names. We certainly want Steven Gerrard to come in there, but certainly we would not want Gerrard there. But we're going to be naming all these managers that are available out there. Zidane's another one. I mean, people are saying Zidane, but again, is he going to be the kind of guy that's going to come in and say, "Okay, I'll manage you till the end of the season," and then Zidane's going to be one of those. If he ends up doing really well, and if he's got a club, he probably want to stay a lot beyond that. But is he the guy for us for the future? I said it already. I think the guy for us for the future. This is my honest opinion. If we're going to go next season again, I'll take Hansi Flick on as my preference choice as a to do a project with. If we want to do that, but again, will he come out of the German national? Will he come out of the German team next season, national team? But if we're talking about the now, the managers that are for the now are the ones that I've said already, and I can't think of any other ones that could come in and do a job.
And seriously, DJ, I have to let you know, I'm seriously concerned right now. I wasn't this concerned before, but again, I can't just be optimistic until something is done. Again, I think it's saying, I later he explained. Thank you so much. Coach, again, how many more players do you think the team needs? We don't need any more players. Sort out the ones we have first. If you, that's what honestly what I want us to do. The vibes again. But I get your question. If anything, we need just one more player. We need just a central attacking midfielder to be able to create plenty of chances from the central area of the pitch, if that makes sense. Again, I am answering you again previous statement that you don't know where Chukwuemeka. Yeah, I'm not sure where he truly belongs in this team. That's the only concern I have. But I've seen him again. I think he's getting it as a three. Where's the space for him in this team? I'm not, but thank you so much for explaining that. Again, Mike should always drive his bus into the penalty box, and that's when it comes player. That again, I've seen it, and I know where you're coming from. I think he drives with the ball, but he's driven it inwards instead of driving down. Again, in most cases, he drove inwards. So, but that's where the manager comes in for a player who's just 20 or 21. I don't remember his age. To correct him and say, drive forward with it. Lampard is available, but I don't think they go for him because tactically, we need a master tactician. It doesn't have to be pretty right now. Just make sure we're not into relegation battle. So that's why I wouldn't even mind us going for Allardyce because he can do that. Playing Felix as a 10, we get exposed again in the middle. We need 3 holding midfielders. Wow. Enzo Kovacic is a carrier that will give us a stability. Wow, that's some comment right there. My feeling is that the players can do very well, but never believe or trust Potter. Again, I'd argue that it's looking like they don't trust him. Because under leadership, if a leader leads you, even if the leader is doing the right thing and it's not working, and maybe you get there, it's down to luck, it's still not working. At one point, you give up. At one point, you don't think whatever he does works. Subconsciously, you will not be doing everything they ask you to do. We have no focal point. Again, the focal point argument is one for another day, really. I have my, reservations on that. The fullbacks, don't cross the ball into the box enough because we have Havertz who is in the strike, and because the manager prefers again a fluid approach. If that makes sense. Again, I am sorry again, but Potter was okay at Brighton and kept them mid-table, and then he left and came to us. Again, we're now mid-table. We're now a mid-table team because he has no idea how to handle players with attitude.
Agreed.
Wow, some comment. The patrol paranormal. I love that comment. Really,
Valid point.
Nelson Ene. Since this season is lost, we need someone who can inspire the players. Why can't we bring again a JT John Terry? You never know. Again, as an interim, just to inspire. Oh well, talk of inspiration. He will bring that. If you don't listen, you have to start listening to him. If you're in the chat and you have a question, shoot it again. Let me know. Keep let's round off as soon as possible. With Lampard, we were scoring lots of goals, but the problem is that we were conceding lots of goals too. That was the issue. And again, I don't trust him tactically. Also, I have to be honest. At this stage, we need a tactical mastermind because it would take a lot not to fall into the relegation battle zone. If that makes sense to you, Hans Flick is a good choice. Let's see again. That's all madness. We need again a Mourinho, a guy with again a gravitas. Again, yep. Again, is that something? Am I missing something there? But that's by the way, again, Hans Flick will give us intensity. Yep, he has that. We have Champions League coming up again. Time to get rid of him now before we end up out of that again and under the watchful eyes of FIFA for financial. If we miss out the Champions League, we're in trouble. We're in trouble in terms of the financial fair play rules. Tuchel became an open book for opponents, so we don't need him. That's your argument, really. But I get where you're coming from. Kachila, again, I have been in your channel for weeks warning you that this was coming. You said that on occasions, and I've always said I don't think we're in a relegation battle, and I don't think we'll ever be. But now I have changed, and it breaks my heart, really. I have to be honest. Lampard did well with youth on the transfer ban. Lampard would do better if he comes back. Really? Is that what you think? Really? Again, Madrid is predictable, but his agility. I mean, he's not Robin. He's different from he's different from Robin. If that makes sense. Again, Champions League game is the only game which again matters now. Potter should not be in charge. If we go through again, it will be because of individual brilliance. Really, some comment right there. Let's see what you have again. Benitez is available.
That was going to come at some point.
Yeah,
Rafa.
Yeah, tell me.
Good old Rafa.
Yeah, tell me how his first stint at Chelsea went. Then maybe I think you should look at that before you decide whether he should come back to Chelsea or not. I don't think he should come, and I don't think he will actually consider coming, except as a caretaker manager, maybe. Can we send Potter to the B team so he can get frustrated and resign? Because I think the 60 million release clause is the problem. Is that really what it is? Really, I want to know. Mourinho has issues again. Has his house next to the stadium. He wants to come back. So let's have Mourinho with Lampard and JT as his assistants. That would be some coaching again, some staff for him, because those are Chelsea through and through. And you don't come again. You don't bring in player power, and you don't come again and sulk it during games. You'd hear from them. JT again, I understood that again. His ruthlessness is so needed right now. Someone who can actually yell from the pitch, communicate immediately. Benitez won Europa League. He did well with us.
He did.
But here's the thing: the fans never warmed up to him. They didn't. They don't want him. Even as he was doing well, they still don't want him, and that's simply because he was again. What team did he coach before he joined us? He was a Liverpool manager, and he said some stuff about Chelsea.
Yep.
Yeah. So I get it. He did well, but the fans, it didn't work. Really. Again, he he did that. And again, he was a good manager for us. Coach, again, what about Emma Hayes as an interim manager? I don't think that happens because she loves her team very well. She's gotten the chance to go coach men's team in the Champions League and in the championship, and she refused that. She loves her team so much. She wants to stay with the team. Correct me if I'm wrong, didn't she get an offer to coach men's team in the championship and she refused it?
Yes, that's right. She did. She did, and she said no. Obviously, because of her love for Chelsea. And I listen. As much as I think Emma Hayes would be excellent for us as for the men's team. I just think it would be too much. Without saying, there'd be too much things too much vibe in the air. I think in terms of the men and the and with a female coach. I don't know. It's just a bit of a. I got nothing against it. Before anyone says anything, I think because you've seen it it is happening in lower divisions. Well, I think it's happening in France or somewhere where you actually got a lady actually managing a guy's team. So look, I get why they're saying Emma Hayes via the vibe because he's got. I can understand that because of her job she's doing with the ladies team. But to save her to come into the men's Chelsea job, I don't know if that would really would go down well. I don't know. I'm not saying she can't do a job either because you just don't know because she's a good manager.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know that. I don't think that somehow that would ever happen.
Yeah, I don't think it will happen. But by the way, again, she wants her job. She loves her job and never going to leave them for that.
Well.
Again, they carry the players to the military camp the other day. Again, they should have gone to see Emma's team training. Maybe that would have made a difference. At this time, we need a coach again to uplift the team spirit. We can only get these from our previous coaches, Jose Mourinho or Thomas Tuchel. Unfortunately, I don't think Tuchel comes back to Chelsea again. Terry and Lampard as assistants. This isn't PlayStation. I get the argument again. Bobby Fairview, again, slug it out with him. Did you see my apology? I had inadvertently deleted your message. So pay attention to that. And Bobby, thank you so much again for relaying the message that again it was a mistake. Again, we need another coach, please. Adeyemi Adeoye. Let's see what the owners do. Again, with that, I think we've come to the natural end of the show. Let me let my brother go get some sleep. It's very again. It's already the next day for him. I'm guessing, isn't it, DJ?
Yeah, it's just gone. Yeah, it is Monday now. It's Monday today. Yeah, already. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah. So Eugene, if you're paying attention, you can see he even apologized. It was a mistake. You didn't do anything wrong, and he knows you didn't do anything wrong. So again, sorry about that. Move on again. Don't fight, please. PlayStation indeed. But let's see what happens. I want to say thank you to DJ. I want to say thank you to JC, who was the first panelist, and unfortunately, again, many people didn't want to join. But that's fine. We still had a very good conversation, especially with DJ, who lasted for again. Wow, that's a long time keeping him awake. Thank you again. To everyone else in the chat, thank you to Delia for joining. Thank you to, again, Bobby Fairview, my brother, Courtney, Eugene Naughty. Thank you so much. Again, the Vaughn, big up, bro. And thank you so much again, the Patrol Paranormal. Again, much love again to you for joining. And if you haven't, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, thank you for 43 likes. Thank you again, Ikings. Who else again? Virtual Old Studio, Nelson A. Eugene Naughty, big up again for all the great contributions in the chat. Thank you again, Cover 14 OD. I appreciate you. And Eugene, once more, you see Bobby Fairview saying again it was a mistake. He didn't mean to delete your messages. With that, we've come to the end of the show. Again, I want to say thank you. See you guys tomorrow for another again daily roundup show. Thank you so much. It's been an excellent show, and it's growing faster than the Blue Morning show grew, actually. So I appreciate all your support. See you guys next time. God bless us all.
Up the Chelsea. Peace, everyone.